Alright, here we go. Ended up doing like a 1 hour 40 planting session, just using a worker. I'm afraid, choosing the 6 meter wide sower, well, it's cool and all that, that took way too long just to plant that 110 hectare field that I actually bought. Oh well, look, things could be worse. I don't know, overall I'm pretty happy though, because crop is planted. Just jumping to the tractor now. See, crop sort of, while I was sowing it, it decided that it was gonna start sort of ticking over. While I was doing that, the sheep farm has also got a full load of wool to sort out, so I think what I'm going to have to do is actually head down there and look after the sheep, but this is going to give me a good chance to actually get this field going. Alright, I'm just going to unhook that. Don't need to do any sewing while I'm doing wool again, but yeah, definitely probably one of the things I noticed while I was doing all that sowing is, sowing always costs fuel, seeds, and the workers' time. Generally, when you're first starting out, your cash flow is so poor that you sort of struggle to cope with whatever's actually going on there. So, so you struggle, or you end up massively in negative. So I had enough spare cash and that into $588. That's sorry, try not to cough too much. It's sort of, you just actually have so much liquid cash doing this. It's actually quite easy to get underway and just do stuff without having to worry about dollars every second, or freaking out because the workers are actually costing so much money. Oh, excellent. That's what I want. So, yeah, a good situation. Still got the wool from last time, got all the sewing done, so maybe it's time for a little bit of an unload. Cash up again. Yeah, I think the one thing that sort of, where I probably made a bit of a mistake, there's two. I should have probably done enough sheep farming to actually get a second tractor, and maybe I should have actually saved up enough to actually get the 15 meter wide sower, the largest one in the game. But oh well, how we make these mistakes. So anyway, time to sell some more. The thing that's changed about the game now, now that I've got these crops going, I'm going to have to keep an eye on the crops while I'm time accelerating the wool. But, it's sort of, yes, I could carry on just doing wool, but I don't want to be bored to death. I want to do other stuff. The whole reason is to do some sort of farming at least. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with the progress. Like, I think the save games tallied up a bit over 4 hours. I'm pretty sure in a lot of the other games I've done, even where I've been doing silage, 4 hours I've definitely not been cashed up to this extent. Just with the gear that I've got, the fact that I'm operating a decent sized farm rather than using the absolute bottom end harvesters, or having two of the most bottom end harvesters, and trying to run back and forth between them, it's not really the greatest. So yeah, efficiency very high, but now there's just a bit more to manage, so it actually gets more fun. Well, what actually happens, you start building up enough equipment that actually you don't have quite the same issues. You can actually have a couple of workers going, you can actually do stuff yourself while the workers are doing things, or you can add enough gear that you can actually have some friends come in multiplayer and do stuff. So probably gonna do my ever important purchase. Go to mods by machine type, and this is the number one tractor to get. 37,110 kilowatts. Maintenance is 130 a day. It uses about twice as much diesel as a nice new tractor, but quite frankly it is just the best tractor to start out with. It's pretty basic, but you can haul some stuff. It's so much better at all things. Other thing I need to do, we've got the ever exciting field planted, so I think this tractor might actually be good just for helping observe the field as well. So I'm time accelerating it, so I'm just going to keep an eye on the wall. This means I can also keep an eye on the crops in their growth state. One of the things I haven't done is I haven't put down fertilizer. Do not have enough cash for fertilizer. Or, let's just go to sort of by machine type. Got fertilizer spreaders. You got sprayers, which is really where you want to be. You got manure spread as well. Manure, you need cows and straw operating, and they don't have very wide spray. Working with 18 meters here, that's sort of cool. 36 meters here, that's cool. 36 meters, that's also cool. It's got a lot more storage. Whereas 24 meters, so that best one's 36. This cheap one's 24. The trailer's 40. It's so much better. When you do the Pantera is also 40, but basically 48,000. So perhaps you can sort of see where I'm going with this. Oops, terrible. I bought a relatively cheap tractor and the fertilizer sprayer that I'm going to use for a good chunk of the game, which is a trailer based one. Only 48,000, so it's a cost of what, 85,000-ish to actually set up for fertilizer spraying. So that's cost of tractor included. Probably the thing that I'll just say about fertilizer, it actually doubles the yields. Like, it is always worth doing. I've had other people say, well, hey, we do it because it's fun, and to be honest, it's probably one of the more fun, sort of least restrictive activities, but it actually doubles crop yield. It basically doubles your profit off each crop, so sort of an important thing. So I think I'm going to need 5, 6 of these wool bales. Other thing with spraying fertilizer, you can actually do it once the crop's fully grown. There's actually no requirement up until the time of harvest. Once you start harvesting, well, it's too late, but any time in between, before you've even sown any growth state, you can actually just bang down the fertilizer. It's one of the great things about it. Cool, not very restrictive activity. That probably gives you some of the best revenue improvement in the game. Very easy to do. Oh god, seem clumsy today. Been a bit sick, so therefore that's an excuse for extraordinarily bad driving, which has got no real justification. Let's watch these crops, a bit easy to see during daytime. Oh yeah, now I get that next growth stage kicking in. That's what we want to see. Awesome. So I believe for most crops, if not all, there's usually a couple of go through 3 growth stages before being ready to harvest. Oops, sorry, I'm coughing a little bit. Been a little bit sick lately, which is not really helping things. Of course, you know, I want to make these videos, so what happens, I get basically a lung infection. So I have trouble talking and speaking and not coughing. And, grief. Talk about it, you know, it's just bad timing. Plus, I've had this for about a week, and it's just not wanting to clear up quickly, which is probably the most annoying thing about it. What can I do? Ooh. 3 bales are getting there, so probably quite handily sort out the fertilizer sprayer. Could go for absolutely best of everything straight off just from the wool revenue, but I don't know, I want to do stuff, and you know, it's sort of, you don't want to complete too many goals too quickly, given that this is just, I think by the end of this video probably would have, oh look at that, a sail. Oh, switching off time acceleration. Alright, sails. Oh. Yep. I don't really want these classic items. It's, you know, the historic baler is actually quite a cool one, just for a bit of a gimmick, but yeah, I don't really. Do I want this? Nope. Great to start, great to kick things off, but yeah, not too fast. There's better things to buy, and there's always other sales. I always freak out every sale, because you know, there's usually something pretty decent, especially when you're first starting out and you need a lot of gear like I am now. Alright, let's have a pick up another one of these. I think I'm just not going to try for the same efficiency as before. As well, just a little bit rusty from the sorry, coughing again. A little bit rusty from the week's break. I don't want to push things too much, just it's the quality of cocking everything up. Oh. It's no great loss turning around and selling a bit of wool anyway. Time accelerate until the pallet's almost ready, so you can be extra efficient. I don't think I'm going to have such an issue with the amount of wool that I'm doing, but I'd have to do a bit of grass cutting in between is what I'm thinking. So I need down to like 7,000 litres of grass, so I'll keep the sheep producing wool. Must have beacons. Oh, that sort of looks terrifying, actually. Let's not do that. And let's not end up crashing the tractor. Ooh, nice. 39,000. So probably just need a couple more bales and get that sprayer, do a bit of spraying. Oh yeah, and some withered field in the distance. Try not to do too much stunt driving. I need 2 more bales and we're a good part of the way there already. Just gotta pick this one up. Just get that off the I think this is a beast thing. Oh, gee, I need a piece of equipment worth 48,000. And then I just chin out a bunch of pellets just like this. Got the cash. Nice and easy. It doesn't look like 770 sheep in there. Where are the crops going? Crikey. Yep. Yeah, they're looking good. Whoops. Let me be bad at driving. Let's just put that up on the roof for safekeeping. Yeah, notice how unstable it is with the pallet that high. Get a lot of potential for overturning. So where things can get a bit sucky later on. Yes, I've got the fantastic thing of the pallet is actually clipping the forks, so trying to get the darn thing off is actually going to be really difficult. Because I do that, yeah, joy. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? There we go. Just going to flick that wool pallet off, that's all. Everything's all better. Oops, oh god. Yeah, let's not make a mess of this all over again. And yeah, I think I have. Oh dear. Yeah, you know, I'm doing a real awesome job there. Let me just clip through this trailer and then drive around in a circle. a real mess of things. That trailers, yeah. Okay. Let's just see if I can flip this up without causing too many issues. Alright, there we go. It's not often you see a trailer sort of, I'd say, breakdancing to this extent. Yeah, the trailer's a little bit unbalanced, but you know, it's just the way it is. Oh, well, at least they can provide some entertainment for the viewers. My shocking skills combined with Giant's physics. Yep, that's you can see things are gonna go horribly wrong no matter what. Especially when I decide to talk instead of actually paying attention to what I'm doing. But you know, that's how these things go. Alright, I think given what a shambles it made of the trailer, I'd probably better dump that wall off before I screw something else up. Just line up that edge. Wonky while I actually drop them all off. And we've already dropped one bale. Oh dear. Is this my day? Not really. Grief. Alright. Okay, enough of this monkey business. I'm just going to get this other one anyway. Oh boy. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't want to waste your time with some of my foolish driving, but oh well. Get to laugh at me being bad. Dear, dear. Yeah, I think the game's physics engine does cause a few bits of grief in places. It never was really designed to be the best or most realistic physics simulation, just enough to have a nice open world game that people can have a bit of fun with. So I think, you know, just gotta, I think it's this sort of stuff and the sort of amount of automation available when it comes to playing the game. You probably want to be a bit more chilled out, you know, once you've done this wall farming, which, despite my messing this up, it's actually still amazingly profitable per time. That scared me a bit. So yes, it is profitable, it is good, and it's getting me equipment at just the most amazing rate. I think once I've got these, to get that fertilizer sprayer, actually spray that field. That'll be a bit to look at as well. So I suspect it might have had time to go through another growth phase. 67,000. There we go. Alright, what I'll do is I'll get the trailer back, park that up, and time to get that fertilizer spreader going. God, sorry about all the coughing and some pauses. Just hasn't been my week. Just with the colds and bits and pieces that are going around at the moment. Actually, while I'm doing things, I might just relocate this as well. Really, I need this tipper for looking up at that field. Just while I'm driving over that way, I should actually get it there. Doesn't do me a lot of good sitting in a place where it's basically got zero usefulness. Always keep your gigantic farm tidy. Got a couple of things that are going to start going on from this point as well. You know, got the whole sheep thing happening, but I want to get the wheat and then try to sell the wheat that are growing during the great demand. But on top of that, I actually need the straw. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. About half the crop's already ready. With a little bit of time acceleration. Oh, this is good. This is good. Got enough time to get a few pallets together and all this. Alright. Okay, yeah, I know there's a shortcut key, but hey, maybe appear in the shop at least once, hey? Sorted by machine type. Fertilizer spreader, sprayer. 48k. There we go. And I've gone out the back door. Oops. Oh. There we go. That is actually quite a sizable sprayer. One critical thing, it actually needs to be filled up. So if you're not familiar with the US map farm layout, you head back to your silos, and it's the blue tank and the sacks of fertilizer. Refill sprayer, there we go. Cash cost of filling the thing, I don't know, maybe a couple of grand, but yeah, believe me, you make more than that easily with doubling the crops. It's just, massive. There we go, 5,600 litres. So does make it a bit heavier once you actually fill these things up. It's actually quite a bit of poop and or chemicals loaded into it. I actually want to attach this to my other tractor. I'll show you that yes, hey, it can do all these jobs. Just going to zoom out from my favourite aspect. It's got a bit of a grunty engine. It does not slow down. Let's deploy the sprayer. Probably ridiculously too close. I want to have it nicely lined up, but whatever. So the spraying's relatively cheap, so who cares? Let's put it to speed 2. Just get rid of that. Bit hard to see where you're spraying. Oh no, I actually lined it up reasonably well. But like I say, a bit hard to see where you're spraying with a fully grown crop, but well, just deal with it. Yeah, if you're actually doing some fun rather than just moving cheap wool pellets. So yeah, definitely on this US map you want a nice wide sprayer because it can take ages to spray. You know, you're looking at just a few runs, whereas if you've got a dinky sprayer, I just, you know, even though the spraying's sort of fun and chilled out, and you know, it's not a big deal if you waste a bit. Yeah. Going too slow with it. I'm just trying to tell the difference. You can hardly see it. Oh, there we go. On the line of spray. Yeah, a bit to tidy up. Whatever. Doesn't matter if there's a bit of overlap, the dollars per litre of the stuff sprayed is just massive. Well, at least, you know, in these 2 runs I've probably just about done half the field. So yeah, 40 metre sprayer. Definitely. Especially when you also get into some of the large cash crops or the large silage production, doubling your crop. You know, when you get 72, 80, you know, sort of cubic meters of crop. Instead of like, you know, 36 or 40, just the dollar value of the sprayed crops, just, you know, it's just ridiculous. You can get to quite an incredibly large scale on this. It's so large that it does take a huge number of hours just to do things. You might just have a session where you're just harvesting. You might have a session where you're just planting and mucking around. But you know, that's where the game's at. I'm missing some bits in the other one. To be honest, I'm not going to get that worried. Okay. Wouldn't be quite so sloppy as what I'm doing there if I didn't have crops grown. But, you know, like I say, doubling productivity, yeah, that's where things are at. It's just a strip at the edge that I'm going to start. I'm actually not going to worry about redoing any of that, so I'm just going to drive up the middle here and not give up. So I'm not going to bother going back over it. Yeah, sure, we'll lose a little bit of productivity for half a hectare or a hectare or something, who cares. If I wasn't doing a video, probably skim over a few bits and spray a little bit. Doesn't matter. Any amount you spray, you're going to get your dollar's worth out of it, that's for sure. You can even spray extremely wastefully. It doesn't matter. But, you know, I want to demonstrate some things and move on, so I don't want to bog you down through doing too much spraying. But look at the size of this field, and this is only a few runs. We've got most of it sprayed. Spray left in it. It's way easier with this partially grown crop to see what's going on. Density so much lower. One more spray in a bit, maybe. Something like that. Stop spraying as I'm turning around corners and all that sort of thing, but it doesn't matter either. Something when it gets to the point of where you go, how many refills do I need to do, and that sort of thing. So I'm not getting too worried on that. Alright. That's a spring done. I can't be bothered doing anymore. Yeah, get a bit more yield or whatever, who cares. The thing with this, because of the power of this gearing, it just seems to actually maintain quite a high speed even while heavily loaded. So I think I'm going to prefer to use this over the front end loader tractor for most of this. So yeah, quite deliberately hooking that up. Now, I just need to keep an eye on wool production as well as these crops. The scene when the crop update usually hits, so I think there's a tick every hour of game time. It usually takes a while scanning down the map to update crops, so there's usually a little bit of lag there. One thing I am worrying about is with the crop that's already ready, if it goes into the next stage, your yield starts dropping. So that first stage, great time to harvest, and the next two stages prior to withering, you get decreased yield per hectare, which, yeah, so you pretty much, once they're ready, you want to go and harvest them. It's usually not a big deal to sort that out though. Come on crop. Yeah, it just was went a bit wonky when I was planting, just some of it decided to grow for some random reason, but I suppose when it takes an hour 40 to sow the seed, it happens. Oh, wool's ready. Feeding troughs down to 3,800. Orgy. I suspect I've got enough to keep the sheep going. What'll end up happening is I'll just keep managing the sheep and all that while I'm harvesting that crop. And I suspect once that's done I'm going to have to do the dreaded lawn mowing to refill the sheep, refill their trough. Productivity up there. Bonus of having two tractors, you manage two jobs at once. Just the problem between these two videos, I couldn't do more than one thing at once due to lack of tractors. The efficiency of tractor teleportation. Of a wool pallet already. Probably the best productivity while waiting for crops to mature. Come on. I've got half a wool pallet. This crop's gonna tick over and I'd end up mowing lawns if I'm not careful. 77% of a wool pallet. Oh, come on. This crop to go. Shows you how productive the sheep farm can be while you're growing your crops. So let's see, wheat, you get 24,000 litres per hectare, and you'd probably be selling it for how much? You'd be, if you get a great demand, you're probably selling it for about 2,000 cubic metre. So each one of these pallets is worth about almost 5 cubic metres of wheat, so about 20% of a hectare. So while that's been growing, and I've been trying to manage the sheep farm and bring in the same yield as 0.4 of a hectare. Well, it doesn't sound like much. It is good. That, there we go. There we go. This is what we need. Just look at these tippers. 25,000 per ton, okay. I'm actually going to sell this wool and then I'll show you what I'm up to. I've got an idea. Yeah, that wasn't the best. Well, I'm not feeling like sorting that out right now, so maybe this. Look at that. Combine harvester 56% full already. Yeah, it's this point in the game where I really don't have so much time to be mucking around with all pellets which have fallen off the trailer due to my bad driving. So the combine harvester's already popped out the pipe. So we can do this nicely. Harvesting speed, there we go. Do this, or would have made a gigantic mess. Not saying that I don't still make a giant mess, but you know. With my bad driving and operational skills. Great. Simple. Look at all that straw. God, that straw is 23% already. So forget how much crop you actually get out of this. That's good. Can do a whole bunch of things while I'm harvesting. So just bear with me, I'm just going to jump around a bit while I try to get all these different things done. Ooh, and do silly things with the forks. I'm just going to keep shunting it into the trailer. There we go. Get the trailer out of the way. Deal with this. Look at the hitch. It's all the way around there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. It's just silly. Okay. Yeah, no, I should be keeping an eye on the other crops, but yeah, you know. Oh, good grief. me so much trouble. Oh, deal with it on. 86% full. Nice. Not sure where my harvester is. Is it this one? Oh, I think it is. Oh, it might be from this one. Oh, this situation's just too ridiculous. What have I done? What have I done? Okay, that sort of shunted the pallet back on, maybe. Or not. Just trying to line that. Oh, God. Line the trailer up. I've almost got it as well. Here we go. Let's see if I can recover this pallet. So yes, very much my comedy driving going on here. But off-road as well. That'll keep things entertaining. It's an open world game where you can make the most poor decisions possible. Can you imagine me flailing around any worse than this? Struggling just to get 2 wool pallets in place. Or probably slowing down my harvesting. See, I think this is the point where, you know, sort of lose my patience for the wool pallets and I'll progress on to doing other things. They've certainly played their role in the startup part of things. And I think they're going to continue to play a little bit of a role. But there's also the possibility they might just sell off the sheep for the purpose of getting the dairy farm running. Because this is where I want to do it. Yes, it's high efficiency farming. And it's that sort of thing. You can manage dairy, milk production and sheep, and eventually you just want so much money sort of pouring in that you actually don't need to do the sheep side of it, so everything's basically automated. It's an interesting situation. So, you know, I thought about the high efficiency startup, get the huge amount of money coming in. Now I'm sort of like, well, you know, you actually get a few choices and there's a few different ways you can do things. Whereas from this point on, there's not necessarily a fixed way. Yes, there is the most super efficient way, which is only using sheep, but I do that when you can do all this other cool stuff. Plus I want to get part of the next project running. Because cows are definitely more expensive. So I'm just thinking, could be directly turning wool pellets into cows. It's not outrageous. Or I could turn the wheat into cows. It's 10 hectares. Yeah. Could easily be 250,000, 500,000 crop. just in that. Just with the wheat, which is actually quite a good startup for cows, so... You know that I haven't connected the lawnmower over there. This is where a part of this startup, having this best forage wagon in the game with large capacity, serves another role. You know, a lot of people go, oh, you know, I want to have balers and auto loaders and all this sort of stuff. But really, you know, running a piece of equipment over, having the bales drop out, then having to pick up the bales, then move them somewhere for storage, and then use them for what you want to do. That's an awful lot of steps. Whereas what I'm doing, I'm going over with the forage wagon, which normally would have been foraging grass, because it, you know, generates a lot of money. And, you know, you could actually do lawn mowing and grass and then take it straight to silage for the biogas plant, but it's one of the great things about forage wagons is you can actually pick up straw as well. You don't actually just have to it's looking a bit full. Right, it is full. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this stuff to silo. It's pretty serious. Well, I'm genuinely busy this session. The second player would actually be a really cool thing to, you know, have someone on board helping out. Let's see where this goes. Wow, 20,000 litres already. Hardly even. There we go. There's a full tippet. A fraction of the field. So in my opinion, get the crop, silo everything, sell in bulk, whether it's to a great demand or just the best price, sell in bulk before the hour ticks over and the price changes. So yeah, I'm just going to store all this. So yeah, I do try to explain a little bit of the game mechanics. I know some of you know already, but also explain some of it. Hopefully someone will learn something useful from that. The start is just, it does blow me away just for productivity, but then I suppose part of it is the fact that I have a better idea of, you know, what the best gear to get when actually is. I think a lot of my original gaming on this actually bought some of the wrong equipment, and there's also some dramas associated with it, because you've just invested a huge amount of money on either half or 3/4 of the equipment you need, and you've just put all that money in and you get zero productivity out of it. It's just, it is the most frustrating and ridiculous sort of thing. Just better line this up a bit better. this is something that I only, when it came to multiple trailers, it's something I only really got into significantly just recently. It's, oops. It's because there's a bigger trailer that only suits a larger combine harvester that can also hook on the same sort of brand of these trailers. So quite a cool sort of train of trailers going on. But just this, green combine harvester, it's not quite cut out for using those taller trailers. They actually do become a bit of a problem. Using these sort of cheaper sort of double axle tippers is probably a good thing, just right in the early phases before you get big fancy crazy combine harvesters that just strip the fields in a fraction of the time, about a third of the time. They have massive storage as well. I was trying to sort out before forage wagon. Technically, yeah, you can use a windrower, but why not just gather a whole heap of hay this way? It's more efficient with a windrower, but at that point where cash is still a bit, unfortunately, tight. Because I'm heading towards dairy, there's probably going to be a bit of grass mowing going on. So where I want to head with dairy is 10% productive, which is a bit meh. Just with straw, which is what I'm gathering now. But you add grass and they're 44% productive. And that's the lowest effort per dollars that you do with dairy, and the most equipment efficient. So you do efficient start with the sheep, so you got this forage wagon, and basically with the forage wagon and the lawnmower you can have 44% efficient dairy, just for basically the same starting gear as dealing with the sheep. Lots of people get wrapped up in trying to do 100% efficient dairy, but you just want the cash flow. Don't worry about the 100% later when you got this fancy kit. You just got to bridge the gap to get the fancy kit. Definitely, see a lot of videos, people are just chilling out, doing cool with that, but I think it was really the toughest thing starting this game was just not having any access to nice equipment. It was, hours and hours of pain to actually get something nice. That's why we can't have nice things. So not efficient enough farmers. like with straw, you can just go and sell it, but sell rate at the barn is just, it's just hardly worth it. There's good volume of straw. Like, I think that was the other thing that sort of frustrated me. You see this great big volume of straw after you've done a harvest, and then you've got no real way to actually make decent use of it. If you don't have balers to sell the bales, you sort of feel a bit stuck. So I think this is where I'm probably just way more efficient. Instead of just having the straw just go to waste, I'm just going to turn around and use it for setting up the dairy farm. I just did not know you could use a forage wagon to pick up straw and then unload into the dairy farm. I think that was the thing when I discovered that, just playing around. I was like, oh wow. It's like I wish I'd been doing it the whole time. It's just getting bales and then shredding bales into the cow shed. Yeah, it's literally just lots of mucking around and lots of time. Not really the best way to do things. So do this, back it up, and get the unload icon. You see the straw just filling up. It's at maximum capacity. Animals for 6 days. Wow. This is a thing of 0 cows. So this is where I'm at. In a situation where I could get the cows and make them be productive. I should concentrate more on this combine harvester. My machine type. Subjects, animals, cows, 2,000. I'm gonna buy 5 of them. Statistics. 5 cows, 9,000 straw. When the next tick happens, I should hopefully be 10% productive. Either 1,000 or 2,000 litres is going to be a cow's worth of grain. So each one of these trailers full with 20 cows apiece. There's a great demand. Yeah. So these cows are $15 maintenance a day. Forget what they produce, is about 500, 900 a day at 100%. So 10%, just I'll be marginally profitable at, $50 to $90 a day. I'll deal with the $15 maintenance. A little bit of cash, and as soon as you put straw in with the cows, it's a straw that produces the manure as well. Yeah. Long-term cow shed side of things, you get your greenhouses and water and cow don't have the same return on invested pool. But that's because they have zero inputs and no management at all to make them profitable. Done alright so far. See the first lot of crop actually is not as high yield. It's, oh well. Not overly stressed. I think this is what 5 approaching 6 hours in. I've got sheep and I've got cows, and they're both, well, the sheep are very productive. Cows, not so much just right at this moment. Technically the revenue's quite exceptional. So, yep, definitely dollars coming in. I think once I got the cars actually running decently, 44% productivity, just using grass and straw, then make a decent number of them. It should be pretty easy to cash up in the game and start just getting actually quite nice equipment for doing these big fields. I think it took me about 20-25 hours of most other games to get to the same point. So even though what I'm doing is not perfect, it's taking about 20% of the time to actually become quite decently productive in the game. It's going to be a bit more of that least productive problem. Not stressed. So I don't load anymore. Nope. You need to get quite a few cars to make that message go away and fill it up more. That's the thing. It's that easy getting 9,000 full with bales and shredders and all that. Well, it's cool actually, sort of, you have your bales and stuff. Running around and playing around the place, that's great. And it's great in the later part of the game, just to give you something different to do. Trying to get running, it's a pain, it's a nightmare. Oh, sorry about all that coughing. It's my bad. But, looking at this. Yeah, Red Bell trailer, 112,000. What do we stick? Square bell at 20,000. It's 95,000. So you're about 210,000. 210,000 just to actually do bales, and then you got to bale forks, and then you actually got to do the mucking around, which is equivalent to the sheep pellet handling. And they're more difficult, especially if you're foolish enough like me to use round bales. Round bales, they're cool. Except if you have a look at this field, you get quite a few fields like this that are on an angle, especially on the US map. You get a field that's on the angle, those round bales like rolling. You get to enjoy the game physics at its fullest, or you pursue a round bale which will only be picked up if you can spear it through the side and not in any other direction. Yeah, that's things work out really. Yeah, can't wait to get some of the big combine harvesters get through while it's running. Those ones are running good, it's amazing. Great big gigantic cover, about 12,000 litres of storage compared to this one's 4,600. Gee, if it's wanting to unload when it stops, it's triple amount of grain. It's just madness. It's absolute madness. Great productivity. Even though this is not really that full, I'm just going to unload at the silo. This is pretty heavily loaded and it's still maintaining 26 miles an hour. Fantastic drive through the tiny little wooded field. Look at the size of this tiny little field. It's just, yeah, I think it's still a couple of hectares or something, so I could use it productively, but it's only 20% of the size that would work. That big one's easier for me to manage just all in one lot. Start. This has actually worked out the way I wanted. Happy with the gear, happy with not having to use gigantic money cheats just to even really get underway decently. Harvesting as it does take actual time. So I want big equipment to absolutely slaughter these fields in just record breaking time. It just becomes about gigantic harvesters. Which is why I sort of scratch my head why there's sort of not more Titanium Edition DLC videos that like the big scale industrial farming. I want it to actually be mega sized. And it's really cool equipment as well worth the upgrade cost from the original version. Threshed area 2.24 hectares. So we're basically just about a quarter of the way there. Really less than a quarter of the way harvested. That is not bad given that this is the second harvester up, sort of the second tier combine harvester. sort of just do a hobby field in terms of and a crop that you can actually get. So yeah, classic mod pack tractor. Definitely this tractor's just awesome for all the games I've played. This has been so cost effective. It's been the mainstay of most of my games. You know, you try and put all your money into equipment, not be spending, you know, 130, 150, couple $100,000 on a tractor. You know, you actually need other equipment to improve productivity. So if you buy a tractor for 37,000, it does most of the jobs. You know, later on in the game you find it, you know, it sort of gets beyond its capacity. There's that point where you need a bigger tractor with a decent engine. You need some serious pulling power. You don't really need it for a couple of tipper trailers like this. Not even if they're full. Which they're not. Definitely later on to get good performance, or you're spending time at the biogas plant down here. You know, when you start piling up the silage in the biogas plant, yeah, sometimes you want a more powerful tractor with larger wheels to actually negotiate the mountain of silage that you're trying to sort out. You just need that big gear. Alright, well, I think I've told you a lot of my plans. Got a fair bit of this harvesting going on with the sheep taking over, starting with the dairy. Yeah, and there we are, if you can see it. Calzone 5 productivity 10%. Liquid manure 17. Okay, I didn't know they produced liquid manure with lovely straw. Manure 13. I produced 4 whole litres of milk so far. I just got heaps of poop spraying out. They only need tiny bit of milk, but that's just the way it goes. There's only 5 cows. Added on that, but you know, got the general plans, so I'm sort of thinking about making this the break at the end of this video, and maybe the next video will be, say, finishing off this field, and getting, you know, selling that